What if I told you that the numbness, tingling, and quiet disconnection you feel in your feet right now isn't permanent and isn't simply something you have to live with for the rest of your life? That sensation of walking on cotton, even when you're barefoot, the way your toes don't seem to respond the way they used to. That isn't just aging, it's a signal. A signal that your nerves are still alive, still there, still waiting for the right kind of stimulation to wake back up. As a surgeon who has spent decades working with adults over 60, I can tell you something most people are never told in a regular doctor's visit. Neuropathy doesn't simply destroy nerves overnight, it quiets them. It dulls the conversation between your brain and your feet until that conversation becomes so faint that your body starts ignoring it. And once your brain stops listening to your feet, balance fades, confidence drops, and the risk of a serious fall begins to rise in ways most older adults never see coming. But here's the part nobody talks about. There is one simple, gentle movement, something so small you could do it sitting in your favorite chair right now, that has the ability to begin reactivating those quiet nerve pathways. It does not require strength, it does not require special equipment. What it requires is precision and a clear understanding of what is happening inside your body when you perform it. In today's video, I'm going to show you that one gentle movement and then walk you through 4 supporting movements that build on it, completing a full system that can wake up your nerves, restore your balance, and protect your independence. Before we begin, if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you hit that button and turn on the bell so you never miss another health tip made just for you. If you enjoy this video, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0 to let me know how I can make better content for you. 1. The gentle toe wave, the single movement that wakes up sleeping nerves. The most important gentle movement I'm going to teach you today is something I call the toe wave. It looks almost too simple to matter. When I show this to my patients for the first time, many of them look at me skeptically and say, "Doctor, that cannot possibly be enough." But after just a few weeks of daily practice, those same patients tell me their feet feel awake for the first time in years. You may have noticed that when you try to wiggle your toes, only some of them respond. Maybe your big toe lifts, but the smaller ones stay still. Maybe one foot responds better than the other. These small disconnections are not accidents. They are the result of nerve pathways that have gone quiet over years of slow, silent disuse. The muscles in your feet are controlled by some of the longest nerves in your body. Those nerves travel all the way from your lower back down to your toes. The longer the nerve, the more vulnerable it becomes to age-related decline and reduced circulation. When those long nerves stop receiving consistent signals, the small muscles they control begin to fade into the background. Your brain quite literally begins to forget how to talk to them. The toe wave gently reverses that process, not through force, but through deliberate, focused movement that reestablishes the conversation between your brain and your feet, one toe at a time. Here is exactly how to perform it. Sit comfortably in a sturdy chair with both feet flat on the floor. Remove your shoes and socks if it feels safe to do so. Bare feet allow your nervous system to receive clearer feedback from the floor. Sit upright but relaxed. Now, look down at your feet. Notice the position of each toe. Begin with your right foot. Try to lift only your big toe while keeping the other 4 toes pressed gently into the floor. This may feel strange or even impossible at first. That is perfectly normal. The point is not to succeed immediately. The point is to send the signal. Even if your toe barely moves, your brain is engaging with that foot in a way it has not in a long time. Hold that lift for 2 full seconds, then slowly lower the toe back down. Now try the opposite. Press your big toe firmly into the floor while attempting to lift the 4 smaller toes. Hold for 2 seconds, then release. Now do the same thing with your left foot. Big toe up, smaller toes down, then smaller toes up, big toe down. Once you have practiced both directions, try something a little more challenging. With your right foot, attempt to spread your toes apart, creating gaps between each one. Hold for 2 seconds, then squeeze them gently back together. Repeat with the left foot. Perform this entire sequence 5 times on each foot. Move slowly. Each isolated toe movement sends a precise signal up through the nerves in your foot, into your spinal cord, and back up to your brain. Over time, that repeated signal rebuilds neural pathways that have grown faint. Patients often tell me they begin to feel their feet again. They notice the texture of carpet under their toes. That returning awareness is the foundation of everything else we are going to build on. But this single gentle movement is only the beginning. Because once your toes start responding, the next layer of your nervous system needs attention. Your ankles. 2. The ankle awakening circle. Restoring the silent stabilizers that protect every step. Most people never think about their ankles until something goes wrong. They twist on a curb, they feel their foot wobble unexpectedly when they step off a sidewalk. They catch themselves clutching a railing they never used to need. Many older adults assume these moments are just part of getting older. But the truth is, your ankles are filled with small, stabilizing muscles and nerve receptors that constantly tell your brain where your body is in space. When those receptors go quiet, balance becomes unreliable and falls become more likely. This second movement is designed to bring those silent stabilizers back online. Stay seated in your sturdy chair, sit toward the front edge so your back is straight. Place your hands lightly on the sides of the chair for support. Keep your left foot flat on the floor and lift your right foot just a few inches off the ground. There is no need to lift it high. The work is not in the height, it is in the control. Now slowly begin to draw a circle in the air with your right foot, lead with your big toe, and trace as smooth and full a circle as you can. Move slowly. Most people rush this and lose almost all of the benefit. Imagine you are drawing the outline of a clock face in the air, and you must touch every number along the way. 12 at the top, 3 on the right, 6 at the bottom, 9 on the left. Each circle should take about 6 to 8 seconds to complete. Do 5 circles in one direction, then pause for a breath. Now reverse and do 5 circles in the opposite direction. Lower your right foot back to the floor and repeat the entire sequence with your left foot. As you perform these circles, pay attention to what you feel. You may notice that one direction feels smoother than the other. You may notice small clicks or quiet pops as the joint moves. None of this is cause for alarm. It is simply your nervous system communicating after a long period of being underused. Your ankle contains hundreds of tiny nerve endings called proprioceptors. These receptors send constant updates to your brain about the position of your foot. As we age, those receptors become less responsive, especially when the ankle is not regularly moved through its full range. The ankle circle wakes them up gently and safely. Many patients tell me they feel more sure-footed within just a few weeks. Stepping off a curb feels less risky. Turning quickly feels more controlled. The small fear that lives quietly in the background when you walk on uneven ground begins to fade. But your ankles do not work alone. They depend on the muscles in your lower legs, especially the ones along the front of your shin that may be quietly weakening without you ever noticing. 3. The heel press and toe lift, reactivating the muscles that prevent shuffling. Let me share something that surprises most older adults. Many falls do not happen because someone tripped over an obstacle. They happen because the toes did not lift high enough during a normal step. Just a few millimeters of difference between a foot that lifts cleanly and a foot that drags can be the difference between a confident walk and a dangerous stumble. The muscles responsible for lifting your toes during walking, the small but vital muscles along the front of your shins, are some of the first to weaken in adults over 60, especially in those who have been managing neuropathy for any length of time. Sit in your chair with both feet flat on the floor and your back upright. Your hands can rest on your thighs. The first movement is the heel press. Press both heels firmly into the floor while lifting only the front of your feet, including all 10 toes. Imagine you are trying to point your toes toward the ceiling while keeping your heels glued to the ground. Hold this lifted position for 3 full seconds. Feel the muscles along the front of your shins working. Many people are surprised by how quickly these muscles fatigue, which tells you exactly how underused they have become. Now slowly lower the front of your feet back to the floor. The second movement is the reverse. With your feet flat again, press the balls of your feet into the floor while lifting only your heels. Rise up onto the front of your feet as if you were trying to stand on your tiptoes while seated. Hold for 3 seconds, then slowly lower your heels back down. Alternate between these two movements. Toes up, heels up, toes up, heels up. Each phase should take about 3 seconds. Perform 10 full repetitions. Rest briefly, then complete a second set. You are activating the muscles that prevent your feet from dragging when you walk. You are stimulating the nerves that signal those muscles to fire. And you are pumping fresh blood through your lower legs, which is critical for older adults whose circulation has slowed. There is a deeper reason this exercise matters for those with neuropathy. When the nerves that control toe lift go quiet, your brain stops trusting your feet to clear the ground. Your stride shortens. You begin to shuffle without realizing it, and shuffling is one of the most reliable predictors of a future fall. By practicing this movement daily, you remind your nervous system that those muscles are still there, still ready. After a few weeks, many patients report that walking feels lighter, more deliberate. They begin to lift their feet without consciously thinking about it. That automatic lift is exactly what protects you from falls in everyday life. 4. The seated calf pump, the second heart that protects your nerves. There is something doctors sometimes refer to as the body's second heart. It is not a poetic phrase, it is a medical reality. The calf muscles in your lower legs serve as a powerful pump that helps push blood back up from your feet toward your heart. Without this pump working efficiently, blood pools in the lower legs, circulation slows, the small blood vessels that nourish your nerves receive less oxygen, and nerves that are starved of oxygen begin to misfire, send weaker signals, or stop responding altogether. This is why calf weakness and neuropathy so often appear together. They share a common root: reduced circulation to the smallest, most delicate parts of your nervous system. To perform this movement, sit upright in your chair with both feet flat on the floor about hip width apart. Sit close enough to the front edge that your knees are bent at roughly a right angle. Place your hands on your thighs for stability. Keeping the balls of your feet pressed into the floor, slowly lift both heels as high as you comfortably can. Imagine you are trying to rise onto the balls of your feet, even though you are seated. You should feel a firm tightening in the back of your lower legs as your calf muscles contract. Hold this lifted position for 2 full seconds. Now slowly lower your heels back down to the floor over the course of about 3 to 4 seconds. That slow lowering phase is where much of the strengthening happens. Most people rush this and lose half of the benefit. Repeat this movement 15 times. Rest for 30 seconds, then complete a second set. Each time your calves contract, they squeeze the deep veins in your lower legs and push blood upward against gravity. Each time they relax, fresh blood flows back down toward your feet, carrying oxygen and nutrients to the small vessels that feed your nerves. This rhythmic pumping action also reduces swelling in the ankles and feet. It eases the heavy, tired feeling that legs sometimes carry by the end of the day. And most importantly, for those with neuropathy, it directly improves the oxygen supply to peripheral nerves. Many of my patients tell me their feet feel warmer after just a few days of consistent practice. Some say their tingling reduces. These are real signs that your nervous system is responding, but circulation alone is not enough. The final piece of waking up your nerves involves something most people never think to train: your brain's ability to feel the ground beneath your feet again. 5. The grounded foot press, reconnecting your brain to the floor beneath you. Let me ask you a simple question. When was the last time you actually felt the floor beneath your feet? Not just walked on it, not just stood on it, but truly felt its texture, its firmness, the points of pressure it creates against the bottoms of your feet. For most older adults, especially those dealing with neuropathy, the answer is honest and sometimes unsettling. They cannot remember. The brain's ability to perceive the ground through the soles of the feet is called proprioceptive feedback. It is one of the most important balance systems in the human body. Every time your foot meets the floor, hundreds of small sensors send information up to your brain. Where is the pressure? Is the surface flat or sloped? Your brain uses that information to make tiny adjustments that keep you upright and steady. When neuropathy quiets those sensors, the brain receives a fuzzy, incomplete picture and balance becomes guesswork. Sit in your chair with both feet bare and flat on the floor. Sit upright with your hands resting comfortably on your thighs. Take a slow breath in and out. Now before you move, simply notice your feet. Notice where they touch the floor. Notice the pressure under your heels, under the balls of your feet, and under your toes. If you cannot feel much, that is fine. Awareness begins with attention. Now gently press both feet down into the floor. Not hard, not forceful, just a steady intentional press, as if you were trying to leave a soft footprint in damp sand. Hold that pressure for 5 full seconds. As you press, focus your mind on what you feel. Notice how the pressure spreads across the bottoms of your feet. Notice if one foot feels stronger than the other. Now slowly release the pressure. Pause for 2 seconds and then press again. Repeat this process 10 times. As you continue, try a small variation. On some repetitions, press more weight into your heels. On others, press more weight into the balls of your feet. With each variation, your brain receives different information from different parts of your feet. What you are doing is something very few people ever do consciously. You are training your brain to listen to your feet again. You are rebuilding the foundation of your balance system. You are reconnecting 2 parts of your body that neuropathy has slowly pulled apart. Within a few weeks, patients report feeling more grounded when they stand up. They feel more confident walking. They begin to trust the ground again. This trust is something neuropathy quietly steals over the years, and this gentle exercise gives it back. There's something I want you to think about tonight, not with fear, but with honesty. The signals your body is sending you right now are not random. They are not insignificant. The numbness in your feet, the hesitation when you stand up, the quiet loss of balance, the strange sensation that your feet are not fully connected to the rest of your body. These are not isolated complaints. They are early signals, and the way you respond to them now will shape the next 1, 3, and 5 years of your life. Aging has a quiet way of changing the body. It rarely happens overnight. It unfolds slowly, one small shift at a time. For people dealing with any degree of neuropathy, the changes are even more subtle because the nerves themselves have already begun to fade into the background. You may not notice the loss of sensation until one day you step on something sharp without feeling it. You may not notice the loss of balance until one day you reach for a wall that is not there. But here is the truth I want you to carry with you. The body, even after 60, even after 70, even after 80, is still remarkably adaptable. The nerves are not gone, they are quiet. The muscles are not destroyed, they are sleeping. The connection between your brain and your feet has not been broken, it has been muffled. And every gentle movement you have learned today is a way of speaking clearly to that connection again. The toe wave reawakens the smallest muscles in your feet. The ankle circle restores the silent stabilizers. The heel, press, and toe lift revives the muscles that prevent shuffling. The calf pump rebuilds the circulation that feeds your nerves. And the grounded foot press teaches your brain to listen to your feet again. Together, they form a complete system. Practiced consistently for just 10 to 15 minutes a day, this system can begin reshaping your body in ways that genuinely matter. Within a few weeks, many people notice their feet feel warmer, more responsive, Within a few months, balance often improves. Looking 1 to 5 years ahead, the difference between practicing these movements daily and ignoring the signals your body is sending, you can be the difference between living independently and gradually losing that independence. The most dangerous mistake older adults make is assuming neuropathy is something to passively accept. That belief leads to inactivity. Inactivity leads to further nerve quieting, and nerve quieting leads to the very outcomes everyone fears most: falls, fractures, the loss of confidence that quietly shrinks a life. But the opposite path is also available to you, and it begins with something as simple as a daily 10 minutes spent doing these 5 gentle movements in a chair in your own home. You only need consistency and the willingness to believe that your body still listens when you speak to it clearly. So starting tomorrow morning, before you take your first step, sit down for a few minutes and walk through these movements. Wake up your toes, awaken your ankles, activate your shins, pump your calves, press into the ground. Then, when you stand, you will be standing in a body that is more awake, more connected, and more prepared for the day. That small daily ritual may quietly become one of the most important investments in your future health and your future independence. These lessons are meant to inspire you to live fully and authentically. Now, I would love to hear from you. Take a moment to reflect and share one thing you have learned and plan to apply in your own life. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment with 1. If not, feel free to comment with 0. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content like this. Thank you for watching, and here's to living life on your own terms.